Hello, I am the NihonTiger, and welcome to a video where we must be very quiet because just on the other side of this hill, yes, this hill is something very rare. Very rare. You don't see it very much anymore. Must be very quiet to sneak up on it. Very quiet. For it is the rare Minecraft update. Observe the blocks. The new blocks that are sitting there. Yeah, I probably can just drop the accent now. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. This is me, NihonTiger, sitting in wrong game mode. But welcome to a video update for Minecraft 1.10. Yes, because we cannot count. No, it's just the way that they have it set up because they don't want to move to 2.0. So we're in 1.10. This is actually the first snapshot. Let me F3 that so you can see it's 16W20A snapshot for 1.10. And yeah, we got some things to talk about. Here's some new blocks. Not a whole lot of changes so far. I should mention first off that everything in this video is possibly subject to change at a later date. Nothing is for certain. It's still a snapshot. The official release hasn't come out, and they could always tweak things, always change it around. There's a cow over here. Hello, cow. How you doing? Nice to see ya. Alright, so let's talk about a couple of things first. There is a new feature, and let me go ahead and open up the menu. I don't think I have it enabled. Controls, auto jump. So this has been brought over from the Pocket Edition, and it's basically a lot like smart moving, where the game automatically jumps for you. You can still jump on your own, but it already moves over blocks because obviously Pocket Edition, you can't really do that on a tablet or a phone. So it's got to find a way to do it for you. Now, if you want to, you can just go to options. It's under controls, auto jump off to turn it off, and then you are back to normal. So if you want to play it a classic way, that's fine. I have to say, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the changes, how they might affect UHC, and as well as building of various things. I can see where some UHC people might immediately get a little turned off from auto jumping. Now we don't do bunny hopping, so it doesn't automatically bunny hop you like this. Like if you've ever seen UHC, you've seen somebody just hopping up and down W plus space. Like this is bunny hopping, or at least that's what I have always called it. I think it's called bunny hopping, sprint jumping, and basically what it is, it allows you to move faster than just sprinting. But I think the difference is marginal, but most people do it because it's a lot easier to do. Oh, that's already full for the eggs. So that won't make you automatically bunny hop, but it does kind of do what smart moving does as a mod, and lets you kind of not have to jump up over these blocks. So for UHC, I can see people disabling it or servers disabling it. In general, I think it actually might be good for people. And let me see, I'm gonna give credit to somebody who mentioned this. This was it's Katamlin over on the Minecraft Reddit post for this, mentioned a very good idea, which is it's probably pretty good for people who might have a disability or have some kind of issue, like some kind of hand issue. A lot of professional players in more intense games like League of Legends, Dota, they tend to develop things like carpal tunnel and other hand issues over time, where it becomes very painful to do even these basic movements, or they get wrist issues and things like that. So for those people who have those issues and may not be pro gamers, it's actually probably a nice little addition to the game. For most of us, I assume we could just turn it off and play the game as normal. So that is the one big mechanical change so far in 1.10 that we figured out. Now let's talk about the blocks. These guys right here, you will not see these in the game. So I just want to mention them real quick. These are the new structure blocks. Sorry about that. These are new structure blocks. They are intended for map makers to be able to load and save various structures into the world. So there's a lot that you could do with them as far as being able to load data into it, being able to have things generate in certain ways. So I don't know a whole lot about them. There's some great videos out there. I might throw a link in the description. There's some great videos already out there about how structured blocks work from map makers. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check the description below for a video or two about that. And you can check those out because unfortunately I'm not going to be able to talk about them. I'm not a map maker myself. So I don't have a lot of experience with the hard coding behind the game other than some of the basic stuff. But these blocks right here, these are the 4 blocks I wanted to talk about. These are the new additions to 110 so far. So we have a netherwort block, we have a magma block, we have a red nether brick, and a bone block. And each of these can be found mostly in the nether. Did the chicken run over the... Yeah, he ran over the thing. I'll talk about that in a moment. Chicken, you're spoiling it for me. So let's start with this. This is a netherwort block. It is put together by taking 9... Oh, I need a crafting grid, don't I? Ah, shoot. I knew I should have made something. Game of 1. Grab a crafting grid real quick. I thought I put one somewhere, and long story short, I didn't. Alright, poppy there. There we go. And then we'll go back into Game of 0. So, as I mentioned, a full crafting grid full of netherwort gets you a netherwort block. If you put that in there, you don't get 9 back. So, that is as good as gone. But this guy is a block that is a solid block, so it breaks with a pick, or there's a couple other ways you can break it. You can use a piston to pop it off, I think, is one of the things you can do. Actually, you know what? Let's get a piston. We'll get a piston right now. If you go ahead and put the water there, water breaks it. So if you flowing water breaks it, so that's actually kind of cool. Unless you're trying to build your house with it, in which case, don't use any flowing water nearby. And let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and grab a piston real quick, just to confirm that indeed does pop it off. So we will, game mode 0, pop that down, put a piston behind it, and yep, that sure as heck does it. Okay, so that is another wort block in a nutshell. Unfortunately, once you put another wort into another wort form, it acts a little bit like a quartz block where it does not break again, so you're stuck with another wort block. But luckily another wort is a replenishable item, so you don't have to worry about it, right? So what this could be used for, obviously the texture is very organic looking. So if you want to build like a tongue or some kind of interior blood and guts kind of look to it, I think that's where the netherwort block really will come into play as being a strong block to use for those kind of things. It also might actually work if you're trying to build a giant watermelon, because it kind of looks like the interior of a watermelon. A little bit. It's missing the seeds, but you can put the seeds in there. So this is actually probably going to be really... Shut up, Nether Portal. This is going to be really useful for people who are doing like pixel art. If you're doing like a giant watermelon piece for pixel art, like Minecraft Bingo, that might actually be of use to you now. So we're going to skip over this guy for a bit, magma block, because I want to talk more in depth about that. There's a lot of things involved with that one. This one right here, this is the red nether brick. It is essentially red nether brick blocks. And the way that works is you take, actually I don't even need this, you can just do it in a 2x2 crafting grid. You do kind of a cross with the netherwort and nether brick. So you have one diagonal this way and one diagonal this way, and I think you can flip these around, and that also works. So, yep, any way you want to arrange them, as long as they're diagonal like this in a crossing pattern, that will work, and that gets you red nether brick. Now, it's essentially the same as nether brick, except it's got this crimson red color. So, time set. This is why I'm in game. I have game mode 0. And creative mode enabled so that I can do that, because I don't want things to go to the night at the moment. So this is kind of just a nice crimson color. It's a very dark, vibrant red. I can really see that a lot like the netherwort brick over here. I can see this getting used for things like tongues, things that have a dark color to them. Also, if you're a rabid fan of the University of Alabama, hey, look, you got a block now. You can make your house the color of the Crimson Tide. Isn't that awesome? I hate you. Not really. I don't really hate Alabama fans, but please, SEC, stop winning these national championships and let the Big Ten win one. Thank you. This guy right over here, this is the bone brick, the bone block, I should say, not bone brick. And this is a full crafting grid full of bone meal. It doesn't work with bones. It only works with bone meal. And just to prove it to you, just to show you how this works, there you go. Bone block comes out. And if you put bone block back in a crafting grid, you get 9 bone meal out of it. So this works a little bit more like, as I call them, kind of the container blocks. So your block of iron, your block of coal, gold, diamonds, redstone, lapis, things of that nature. This is essentially a way for you to have your large amounts of bone meal compressed together. So it also really looks nice too. It actually is kind of an off bone color, and it's got this nice texture on top. Like this is the bone marrow on the inside. And this is the hardened exterior of the bone. And right over here, I just wanted to show this off to give you a look at how the bone block looks in comparison to the other white blocks. So it is a very light exterior texture block. You don't have to worry about this pattern like on the wool or the iron blocks, and it doesn't have this band that the iron blocks does. It's got a little less detail on the snow block, and it doesn't have quite the same bluish hue to it. And this is obviously the block of quartz, which is the pure white block that you see used in a lot of things. It also doesn't have, if you ever notice with the quartz block, it does have a little bit of a band around it as well on the edge. So this is just a block that's got a little darker edge and the whiter light in the middle and a little bit darker on the outside. So if you're going to be building something bone colored, this is perfect for it. So giant skull and crossbones, perfect for it. There's actually a structure in the game now, which we'll talk about in a little bit, that uses the bone block. So, and it's actually probably obvious what it is for. Hint, hint, skeletal. So that is going to be something that we see, and it's probably also a good kind of a weathering white color. So if you want to have something that looks a little weathered, it might be a good choice to go with. I'm not certain yet. I haven't played around with it too much as far as building structures goes with that. But it has possibilities. So you have another option here for your white blocks depending on kind of what you want to do. Now, this guy right over here, we're going to talk a little bit about this guy because the magma block is a very unique block in the game. It's different from all these other blocks. Most of these are just storage/decoration blocks. This one actually has effects. So the magma block is found in the Nether. It has this, there's nothing you can do to make it. It's a naturally occurring block. It fits in among netherrack and various things like that. It's not only on the exterior, it spawns in interior chunks, a lot like nether quartz ore does. So the effect actually for this, I'm going to come over here and show this. The effect is, if you've ever played a mod pack with my Biomes of Plenty and gone to the Nether and you've not seen the smoldering grass blocks, this is going to be very familiar. So it doesn't set you on fire, but it does do a little bit of damage. It's not actually doing a whole lot of damage very quickly. Now the damage is starting to pick up. You can see now it's very much starting to pick up. It took a while. It seemed to be like the damage was rolling a little bit. So, and that was just normally it was doing that. So it's not instantaneous damage that will kill you like within a heartbeat, but it does start to pick up over time. Oh, okay. So I see. It took a little bit. I think what was going on was the health was regenning. So it looks like half heart a tick. And I think my regen, my health, my hunger was actually a saturation. Saturation bar was actually causing it to regen constantly. So that's okay. But yeah, we have got, let's see here. Can I make it rain? We've got this block that shows up now in the Nether. Does damage to you when you walk over it, a lot like the smoldering grass block from Biomes of Plenty does. And we're actually going to make it rain here. just to show you an effect. And I hope this works. Let me just check, make sure my particles are turned on too. Particles all. There we go. So I had to turn my particles back on, but you can see it gives off smoke in the rain. So it behaves a little bit like a lit netherrack block in that regard, except it doesn't set you on fire, so you don't have fire damage. You just have to deal with it almost like stepping on a cactus. So let's go ahead and toggle that downfall back off. Thank you. And I usually leave my particles at minimal because I don't have to really worry about them that way. In fact, I probably left them off because I was recording 1.9 and had to turn them off or something. Let's see what else. Yes. There are some death messages that come about here. I should probably grab... I'm going to grab... actually, I want to show something cool off first. Before I go kill myself for science, if I do this, if you notice this, there's meat sitting on the blocks, and the meat is not burning. So this is where this is going to get interesting. You do damage to not only yourself, but you saw the chicken over there squawk when it stepped on here. So it does damage to mobs as well, both hostile and passive neutral mobs. So this is where it's going to be really interesting to see this block used. And I think I've already seen a mob grinder used and set up for 110 that has these blocks on the bottom of it. And the blocks will damage the mobs. Mobs drop. The drops land on the magma blocks, and they don't burn. So you get your drops without having to sacrifice them to the lava gods, the lava blade gods. So I think that's going to be a much more efficient way to do a drop, to do a mob dropper or a mob grinder in the future. So let's go ahead. I actually want to do two things here. So first off, for science, there you can see that's one of the new death messages. If you just fall on it and die, you get NihonTiger or your name. Discovered floor is lava. So a little shout out there to the old floor is lava, game that you used to play when you were kids. Now there's also a secondary message. I'll take that back. Thank you. Get my stuff back. Do I have a sword on me? No. I guess my sword disappeared somewhere. So I have to go to game mode 1. And the reason for that is I want to grab spider. Yeah, spider would be good because that won't burn up in the sunlight. Is there something else that might not burn up in the sunlight here that I can grab as well? Which endermite, gas, slime. None of these are really great options. Creeper will blow up. So, there's my sword. So I'm gonna spawn the spider. Go back to game mode 0. Get him to come after me. So, come at me, buddy. Okay, so hopefully this works. Okay, hit me onto it. Yes, there it was. NihonTiger walked into danger zone due to spider. So that is what I wanted to see. That is the other one, and that comes if you get hit by a mob and you land on top of the magma block and it kills you. So that is how that works. Those are both the death messages. There we go. Got some string out of it. Yay! Don't need it. Oh, don't need it. Okay. Click on my window for a moment. Got it back anyways. So how do we deal with the magma? How do we not make it hurt us? Well, there's a couple of possibilities here, and we're going to walk through them real quick. And we'll set time back to day because we don't want to deal with that. We are going to first off try water. So there you go. That is the water bucket. And let's see if we can't get up on there. I did not think about constructing that. So water bucket, go. Nope, that didn't work. Still did damage. So water, and this is especially true, especially in the nether, of course, water won't save you. But in the overworld, if you put water over the block, it will not save you from taking the tick damage. As soon as you touch it, you end up, taking the half-hearted damage from the fire tick, or the damage tick, I guess I should say. Now, also interestingly enough, if we leave this here, I bet if we leave this here, we'll come back and the water will be gone. Just a hunch. So we've got 2 sets of boots here. I'm going to try these out on the fire here. First off, I've got fire prot, and I want to see if that does anything. The answer is no, it does not. As you can see, it is. My hearts are kind of healing up just because of the saturation, but the fire protection actually did. Hey, there it went. You saw that, right? It disappeared. Fire protection did nothing to stop me from taking magma damage. Frostwalker, though, which is a new enchant that got added in 1.9. I want to take a look at this. Hey, look at that. Frostwalker happens to work. Who would have thought that the enchant that turns everything under your feet into ice when you're walking on water would also be cold enough to keep you from taking tick damage from magma? Huh. Fancy that, right? Actually, probably not. And you can also see it doesn't do any durability damage to the boots either. So that is all fine and dandy with that. So make sure if you're going to be dealing with something involving walking on a lot of magma, you gotta have your Frostwalker boots with you. That is vital and important. So I've also saw a possibility, and I saw someone mention this, that sneaking, yes, sneaking does also keep the damage from triggering. So that is probably going to get fixed at some point. I'm fairly certain that is probably unintentional, because that doesn't work. I don't think that works on anything else that does damage in that manner. I don't think it works on cactus, and I don't think it works on anything else. So let's go ahead and show off something else that is brand new. I just want to make sure, check my notes real quick. Oh, I should mention, you can mine this stuff with a pickaxe at any level. So all of these blocks, you can mine them with a pickaxe at any level. Especially in the magma, so, like that. And it just pops into your inventory. I think you can use, like, stone and everything on that, too. So, should be, as long as you have a pick, you should be good to go. Now, one of the other changes, and this was a change to the game itself, is that there's a couple of new mobs added, and there's a couple of new structures added. Now, I haven't been able to find one of them, but there are mine shafts, abandoned mine shafts that now appear in mesa biomes. And I haven't been able to find that because I haven't found the mesa biome yet. But if you can imagine an abandoned mine shaft appearing on the surface in a mesa biome, not necessarily on the top of the mesa biome, but at like surface level, then that's essentially what it looks like. And this is a new village. There's 2 new types of villages that will spawn in 1.10. And they are these acacia ones in savanna biomes, and there are spruce ones that spawn in the taiga biomes. So as you might notice, gravel is out for the most part, not around this structure here, but for the pathways, there's no more gravel. And basically the structures are the same as they are in regular villages, except they're replaced with the appropriate blocks. Now, there is a problem with this, and I wanted to mention it very quickly. This is where the blacksmith shop used to be. And the reason it's not here anymore, the reason it is literally burned to the ground, is because the blacksmith shops in the... Let's see what's in here. Oh, bread. Thank you. And iron pickaxe and chestplate. In the old ones, they were made out of stone, but perhaps in an oversight, they've decided to make them out of wood. And it still has like the lava, little lava bit that's right here. So unfortunately, as soon as the world generated in and it's generated in, the lava set the entire blacksmith shop on fire. So keep that in mind if you're coming across one of these things. You want to take out the lava that's in here very quickly, because otherwise it will burn your blacksmith shop to the ground and you will have nothing left but this little structure. Now, that is pretty much a quick run through of the new village types. There's 2 of them. There's no new villagers or anything like that. You don't have to worry about it. So we're going to make our way over here to the desert to talk about the first of our new types of mobs. And you can see him right over there. Right over there inside that cage. I have to keep him caged up because he's dangerous. Hey, and he he actually is dangerous. Oh, and I should mention with the abandoned mine shafts I should mention that actually because that's a UHC thing. The abandoned mine shafts in the where'd he go? He despawned. Oh, we'll get him back. With the abandoned mine shafts in the UHC thing that I mentioned before in the mesa biomes, the pros to that are now you're going to have surface gold at a surface level. So you will literally be able to kind of walk up to these things and find gold because it generates the gold inside of the structures. Negative, of course, now is that you have cave spiders spawning at surface level. So good luck with that. More PvE fun, isn't it? Prepare for doom. All right, so I've got the zombie here, the zombie egg, and I'm going to spawn something here, and I hope this works right the first time. Should work right. Yes, there he is right there. This is the brand new mob that spawns in the desert. It is a variant of the zombie, and I might let him loose here on me just to show you what he does. But this is a husk. This is essentially a zombie that does not ignite in the sunlight. So you can see I've got an open air right here, and he's not catching on fire. So essentially, other than the color change and some of the looks that are different here, he's pretty much the same thing, except when he hits you, he deals hunger damage in addition to any damage he would deal like regularly. So you get hungered. And I'm going to have to kill him real quick. He just drops regular zombie drops, but he deals hunger. So that is a change from the regular zombies. Obviously when you get hit by a zombie, you get damage and that's it. But husks, I also don't know if husks can catch on fire. That's a good question. I should test that out right now, in fact. Let's see. Husk. Spawn a husk. And let me grab that. Spawn him here and... Yep, okay, they catch on fire. So they can catch on fire if they get set on fire, but they will not burn normally. And then they do the normal burning zombie thing. Alright, and since we're in a desert, I thought I would go ahead and I can fly. So we'll fly over here. I want to show you something really cool. We'll switch back to game mode 0. Because I don't want to accidentally break all the blocks. So this structure right here is not a new structure in the game. It's actually something I built as a marker so that I could figure out where all of the things go. Now the husks, I don't think are going to be much of an issue in UHC. They're pretty much just going to be another zombie type that you deal with. But we come on down here and we come to the bottom. And if you open this up, wowie zowie, what is this? What is this mysterious thing? You know what? Why don't I do a fast forward and dig it all out? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Alright, so this right here, this bad boy right here that I've got all kind of half dug out, and it kind of looks like a rib cage. This is a fossil. This is a new structure that appears underground in deserts and dry areas, I think, for the most part. At least that's what I remember reading. And you can see it's got these bone blocks here that make up the majority of the structure, and some of the bone segments are replaced by coal blocks, coal ore. Kind of, I guess, to represent maybe compressed carbon, since this was a living thing at one point. Now, what kind of beast this was, nobody knows, but it's a nice little structure that you can find in deserts, and if you find one, you get a lot of bones for free. Nothing really to complain about there, I guess. But it is kind of cool that they've added in a little something for the adventurer set. If you really want to go digging for fossils, you can do that now. And that's all good and dandy. But that really, I think, is about it for structures, unless my notes are... So no. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but where is it? Do we have any? Oh, there's a husk right over there. So there are some new particle effects for any block that is falling. So for example, sand, various sands, gravel, and the like. There are new, I guess you could call them particle. I did mention you call them effects, but they look like snow basically falling from the underside of the block. And it's supposed to represent sand and gravel that are loose and falling due to gravity. So that is just a small aesthetic touch for those of you that happen to have suspended sand or gravel above you, or you might be in the nether and you're looking up and you see some weird sparkly things. That's what that is. It's nothing, that's wrong with your game. It's just a new particle effect. And I actually need to swap out real quick here. And when we come back, I want to show off some new stuff that can be found in some colder biomes, which we don't have around here. So we'll have to kind of make do real quick and get a little colder place. So be right back. All right, so we're in a colder biome here, and look what I found. It's another new mob. This guy right here. Yes, you Mr. Skeleton Pants with the scary looking face and the tattered clothing and the bow. You are a stray. That is a new type of mob. It basically behaves like a skeleton, except with one minor tweak, and I'll see if I can get him to do it. Yes! So he did shooting me, and he shot me with a slowness arrow. Did I say he did shooting me? He did shoot me. Thank you, Nihon. Speak English. It has a slowness effect on contact, and if I bring him out into the world, come get me, buddy. Okay, he's going to shoot me again, so it's going to stack. He's going to chase me down. He can hear he's burning, so he behaves like a regular skeleton in that regard. And if I kill him, can I very quickly do this? Oh, there we go. We get arrows, and we also get an arrow of slowness as a drop from him. So that is a little bit of a difference. That's the first time that we get an enchanted drop, or a potion. I guess they call it an enchanted drop. I'll call it that. An enchanted drop from a mob. It's the first one that does that, actually. So yeah, basically the strays spawn in the cold areas. So if you are in a colder biome, like a taiga hills, or like the ice plains out here, or ice spikes biomes, those guys will start to spawn at nighttime in here in place of the regular skeletons. And regular skeletons may spawn here and there too. So just a small thing to talk about. And then there's this. There is this. The mob that everyone's been waiting for. Oh, there they are. Look at them out there. There they are. There they are. Look at them. It's a polar bear. It's the polar bears. So polar bears are a new mob, completely new to the game. It's not a tweak. It's not a change. It's not anything different. They are brand new for 110. And they too will spawn here in these cold biomes. Duh! Because they're polar bears. Polar bears, cold kind of go together. So unfortunately, the one thing we don't have. Hey, buddy. The one thing we don't have is a cub. Because the cubs alter the polar bear's behaviors, the adults' behaviors. It makes them aggressive and want to attack you. So since these are all adults on their own, they are not attacking me. I can walk right up to them and pet them. You pet them, and they're very happy about that. You can't do that in real life. Don't ever pet a polar bear. It will probably maul your face off. So they drop fish, not cooked fish, regular fish and salmon salmon, however you want to pronounce salmon. It's the correct way to pronounce it. They drop salmon and fish when they die. I've mostly seen salmon drops when you kill them. And really that's about it with them. I don't expect there to be a lot of difference in UHC with either the polar bears, because the fact that they're so passive. They might aggro if you go near them when they have a cub, so just be on the lookout for that. And the strays are basically the same as the the other skeletons, just handle them in the same manner. You'll be fine. But I think that's about it for my 110 video. Just at least an initial overlook on some of the new blocks, some of the new mobs, maybe even some of the new things to expect. Don't expect a whole lot of change with UHC. Some of the new building blocks will certainly be useful. And of course, these things can all change. Tomorrow morning, Jeb could wake up and decide that he wants bears to be aggro all the time. And that could be the way it is. You never know with these things. So, thanks for watching. Hello, Mr. Bunny. And I will see you soon with perhaps another video if things change. And if not, I'll see you around in Minecraft 1.10. Oh god, I couldn't resist. Oh god. He's coming after me. He's coming after me. Ah! It's habit. It's my nature. I have to punch the bears. It's what I do.